Hello folks, I am back and this time I'm going to do a review on the Springfield Armory XDS Mod 2 and 45 ACP. This firearm is not mine, it is my female friend's firearm. You probably seen her in the last video I did and a couple others. And this is her firearm, this is her carry firearm. She originally had a Sky pistol, which I was not happy with and did not like the quality of that firearm, so I told her to trade up to get this particular firearm, which I thought would be much more of a safer firearm to carry and much more reliable. Also, she is a big fan of the 45 ACP, so she strictly wanted something that was a 45 ACP. Let me get into the specs on this real quick. Like I said, it is a 45 ACP. Let me show clear first. There's no rounds in the magazine, and we have a clear chamber, as you can see. So it's safe to talk about, and the YouTube gods won't be after us. Okay. Like I said, it is in 45 ACP. The barrel length itself, the barrel length is going to be 3.3 inches, and it is a hammer forged steel barrel with a melanite finish. It is also going to have a 1.16 twist in that barrel. The slide is going to be forged steel with a melanite finish as well. The front sight on this is going to be a fiber optic. Let me see if I can get that in there for you. For some reason, I've been having trouble with my camera lately, but there it is, struggling. It is going to be a fiber optic with a plain rear sight in the back. Now, there are other versions, and I'm sorry about the focusing. There are versions of this exact same firearm that do have, let's say, I believe tritium sights or luminescent sights. So they vary from firearm to firearm depending on what Springfield is doing. Also, there on this is has a recoil spring. This is going to be a dual captured recoil spring. I cannot show you the inside of that spring at this time because YouTube is being funny on breakdowns on that. I'll talk about that in another topic. It is a full length guide rod. Like I said, it's a dual captured spring, and it is very good. And I will talk to you about that momentarily. Also, the grip in width in inches is going to be 0.9 inches from here to here, as well as it comes with two different magazines. Now, right now, I don't have the other magazine, but this is a 5-round magazine, and it does come with a 6-round magazine. So it does change the length of the firearm or how you would grip the firearm itself. Also, the weight is a 23 ounces, not bad weight. The total length is going to be 6.5 inches, and the height, depending on what magazine you have, the standard, which is the which would be the 5-round, would be roughly about 4.4 inches, and if you have if you have the larger capacity round, which is the 6-round, it would be 5 inches. So it depends on what magazine you have for height. Now let me go over a couple features on this. This has a different type of takedown. You just have that, you pull the slide here, you lock it back, and you move your lever here to take down. It's kind of the reverse of what Sig Sauer pistols do. One of the other features is on this is you can see it has the safety dingus that's on most firearms such as Glock and let's say CZ. And one of the other unique features is this is kind of 1911-ish style with the what would be on a 1911, which would be a beaver tail safety, but this is a squeeze safety right here. So I'll just call it like a beaver tail safety, even though it's not. But so you have two modes of getting the safety to work on this firearm. So You have the safety here and you have the safety here. So let's say, for instance, you have a round in a chamber. Unfortunately, I do not have a snap cap in 45 ACP. So if you press the trigger, the firearm will not go off, even though if you're pressing the safety dingus here. If you have this depressed as well as you pull in the safety dingus, you will be able to discharge a round. So both features have to be in working order for you to be able to discharge a round. One of the other features on this, now I just racked the slide back, but it's not going to work, is you're going to see, and I'm not going to call this a safety feature, because you should treat every firearm as if it were loaded. Because even though this has a loaded chamber indicator, what happens is this piece here, when it's loaded, it sticks up. It sticks up and protrudes up, so it would appear as though it kind of will make this look like a ramp that's going up here. So it kind of will make it look like a ramp that's going up. So you'll know that there's a round in the chamber. Now, there's a positive and negative with that. If it's not malfunctioning right, you rely on this, like I said, you should treat every firearm if it was loaded. If you're new to firearms, you may make a mistake thinking, oh, I got a round in the chamber, or whatever the case may be. Or if this is down, I'm safe. Never treat it like if it's that it's a safe firearm. One of the other things is if you have certain brands of holsters. Now, this has been on the market for some time, and other variants of this. So I'm pretty sure holster companies have adapted their holsters to this particular model firearm, because I would think if there was a round in a chamber and the indicator is sticking up, that it would have some type of snagging issue if you're holstering the firearm or trying to get the firearm out the holster. But I'm pretty sure that most manufacturers of holsters have remedied that problem. One of the other things about this firearm is looking at it. This is, like I said, the XDS Mod 2. It has its what they call their octo grip, or whatever the case may be, which is a funny name for it, but it's probably a good selling point for the firearm. It is a decent texture at this point, pretty much a decent texture. I can't complain about it. And I have no problems gripping this firearm to shoot this. Now, one of the things about this firearm is me helping her and putting my opinion on this. Like I said, she wanted a 45 ACP firearm. This is one of the few firearms that are striker fired that I like that's in this compact size. Now, I have a Glock 30. I love that. That's one of my favorite compact 45s, and it fits the what I would say the frame style of the Glock 30. And to give you an example of what I'm talking about with the Glock 30 versus the XDS Mod 2, I'm going to bring this in, let the people know it is clear, nothing in there. And if you look at the size when I'm trying to get these together, the Glock 30 is a little bigger, a little wider, a little girthier. And if I can get this situated, and as you see, the Glock 30 is a little bit longer. Now, on both of these firearms, they are very good for their size, for their compactness, and for both of these firearms to be 45 ACP. The only difference is the capacity. This is at capacity of 10. This one is 5 plus 1 in the chamber. Now, a lot of people may moan and groan and say, oh, well, it's not worth to have a 5-round capacity on this particular firearm. Like I said, this is not my firearm. This is a firearm that she chose, and it's one that she uses to carry. She does a lot of walking, she does a lot of jogging, and she secures this in a belly band. So she wants something that's going to be really streamlined and something that she can be comfortable walking or jogging in without feeling that she's carrying something like the block over here. So, like I said, this is a lot girthy, and this would be pretty much uncomfortable. And she did shoot this prior to making her decision, and that was one of the things she said. This was a little bit too thick. One of the other things that I could say is I shot this firearm, and I love the way this firearm shoots. It shoots very well, and it is very accurate for the size that it is. Especially up to 10 yards is very accurate, and she shoots this very well also. And what I can say is with this firearm, I am not a fan of Springfield Armory's let's say polymer line. I used to own a XDM M45 before, but I kind of fell out of love with that. But if I were to consider, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not a fan of Springfield Armory's polymer frame firearms, I would probably pick this one. Just because it's so streamlined, easy to conceal, and would make a great defensive firearm. I'm more of a Springfield Armory 1911 guy as opposed, so I prefer to buy their 1911s versus the polymer ones. These are made in Croatia, and they seem to be doing pretty well. You haven't heard any drama with these, so they're pretty decent. Other than that, if you do want something that is small, streamlined, if you don't mind the capacity being at five rounds, by all means, I would recommend this firearm. They do have a 9mm version of it, so you could check that out. I'm pretty sure it's going to shoot as well as this one. And if you check their website, I'm not sure if they discontinued this model or not, because I've seen some variations with the sights, and when you look up the XD Mod 2, you only see the 9mm version. So I would still recommend the 9mm version if you're interested in that. But if you can find the 45 version, go for it. Other than that, this is all I have at this time. So happy shooting, stay safe, #2A.